What am I to do with the one that they call Jesus? Or Jesus, who is called the Christ, is the question that Pilate has in today's reading in Matthew 27. And I think that question goes for all of us. What are we to do with the one called Christ? What are you to do with the one called Christ? What am I to do with the one called Christ? The answer was very clear for the crowd. Instead of choosing the righteous and the holy one, they would instead choose Barabbas, who was a murderer, who was a robber, and they will cry out for him to be released instead of Jesus Christ. Pilate tries to get away with something that he thinks is going to justify his action of him surrendering a righteous man unto death. They bring him a bowl of water and he washes his hands and says, I am innocent of this man's blood. No, you're not. But how much more are we like Pilate? When we catch ourselves getting into something, we try to bring a spiritual bowl, wash our hands, and say, I'm innocent of it. How much more are we like Pilate and we ask, what am I to do with this man named Jesus? And instead, we would choose people who would have hatred and idolatry and sinful thoughts and all these other things that Jesus was against in their heart, and yet be like Barabbas. Here's a beautiful picture. No one looks for God. We are all just like Barabbas. I'm like Barabbas. And if it wasn't for this great exchange of letting Barabbas go and taking Jesus Christ, our sins wouldn't have been paid for. What are we to do with this one called Jesus, whom they call Christ? We are to believe. And yet, as Barabbas was let go and freed, so will we be by the grace of God.